Hi everyone, this is a new type of video that I am doing where I am showing my face. I'm going to be going over the books that I've read so far for the month and kind of do a little bit of a book review, and then after that I will do my whole savings thing. Okay, so let's get started. I've read quite a few books so far. Some of them are spooky. So the first book that I read was on my Kindle. It's called Salem's Fall by Rektok. This story is about a young attorney who works at a criminal defense law office, and they just got their biggest client who is a billionaire and is accused of murder. And so this young attorney, she's trying to prove herself into, you know, the law firm and the law field. And she goes out and becomes kind of like a detective and just doing all of the investigative work and the research on this client. And she discovers a lot of things going on. So there is a little bit of like suspense thriller, and overall I think I rated it like a 3.5. It was kind of like a page turner, like I wanted to know, but I feel like it lacked a little bit more of like that like oh my goodness, you know, like oh wow, like jaw-dropping moments or plot twists. Like I felt like it lacked that a little bit. All right, so moving on, the next book that I read is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and she is one of my favorite authors. I've read most of her books already, but this book, you guys, was a 5-star read for me. This one is yes, it's about outer space, but it takes place in like the 70s when women just started getting into space. And it's a beautiful story, you guys. It's beautiful. There's a love story that unfolds, and it's just so great. If you ever have a chance to read this book, I highly recommend it, just to give it a shot. All right, the next book that I read on my Kindle was Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. And now this book was a book club pick for the month, and this one is really spooky. It talks about like a little girl having a mommy friend, or just like second mommy. That's what she calls this ghost figure. And the POV of the book or the story is from this young child, and which I thought was really interesting because you don't really get a lot of those type of books where the POV is from a child. So I did like that. It was spooky, and I think it was really good for like the season, for like October Halloween vibes. So I think I rated that one like 4 stars. All right, now moving on to the physical books. The next book that I read is The Intruder by Frieda McFadden. This one just released this month, and I read it in like a day because all of Frieda McFadden's books I tend to read really quickly. This one is about a girl who is living in a cabin, and turns out there's going to be like a huge storm. All of a sudden someone shows up to her cabin. She brings them in, you know, to take care of them because of this storm. They're not going to be able to survive outside in the woods. So yeah, there's like quite a bit of plot twists in here, some that I was like not really expecting, but I was like, something's going on here, you know. So again, Frieda McFadden, she never fails with her plot twists. I did enjoy this book. Again, it was a page turner for me, and I might have rated this like 4 stars. All right, the next book that I read is Vampiros of El Norte by Isabel Canas. I love her as well. She has really great books, and this one was a little bit of spookiness as well. I like it because it takes place of like during like the Spanish Mexican Revolution and all that stuff. So there is a little bit of history involved, and yeah, there's like some vampires and brujeria. So I really did enjoy this book. I think I rated this 4 stars. And then the next book is Middle of the Night by Riley Sager, and I was a little hesitant with this book. I just felt like I was getting a little bit confused with the writing style, because there are some parts where it talks about like a past memory, and then that I kind of had to be like, wait a minute, is this now or the past, you know? So I did have to really pay attention to when I was reading. However, it was really good. Like, it turns out that one thing, like the author leads you to believe like it's one thing, like a ghost or some supernatural force, and then all of a sudden, like at the end, you're just like, oh wow, it wasn't that, you know. So I've heard The Only One Left is really good as well, so I do have that book in my TBR, but overall I gave this book 4 stars. The next book that I'm actually currently reading and I have not finished is one that I picked up from the library. It's called The Possession of Alba Diaz. Again, this is from Isabel, Canas, the same author from Vampiros del Norte. This book was released this month, I believe, and I just started it. I think I'm barely on chapter 5, but I know this also takes place in Mexico, and you know, I just love her books because they talk about like the past, the history of Mexico, and a lot of the stories take place there. There's a little bit of a horror thing to it. So yeah, I really do like this author. So I'm 5 chapters in. I can't really say much about it, but yeah, those are the books that I read so far for the month of October. I am filming this video a little bit early, so I still have another 5 days to finish some more books, but we'll see. Anyways, let's get to the cash stuffing part of the reading savings challenge. All right, you guys, so this is the savings for the reading challenge that was created by Norelli's Budgets and myself, and we started this at the beginning of the year. So I am now working on quarter 4. This is the quarter savings, which here it is. And I actually read an additional book that I forgot to mention, which was probably one of the important ones, because the book was Pumpkin Spice and Everything Nice, and this was actually from the Fable book club that Norelli's and I created. And I completely forgot to talk about it, but this one was actually a 3-star read for me. It was kind of cozy, but the cover was really misleading of the book. It seemed like it was some type of, like, I don't know, older couple, like maybe even college students, but these were like teenagers. Teenager romance, YA, and I'm not for it. Like, it was not my cup of tea, but I still read it. I did like the whole pumpkin spice thing, but yeah, just the teen characters, I was just like getting a little annoyed by the main female character, and I was like, oh my goodness. But anyways, yeah, that was another book that I read. So I read a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books, and for each book I am saving $5. And let's actually, let me write this down here. 5. Okay, so we're gonna color in the 5 books that I read, and I'm just gonna do this really quickly. I tried writing the titles, but with like a permanent pen, but the ink was coming off, so I was like, I mean, not coming off, it was really low, it was like finished, so I just threw it away. And a lot of my markers too are like drying up. Anyways, my coloring is awful, so sorry. Look at this, see? Oh my goodness. I also have them laying up, so that could be a reason, you know? That could be a reason of why they're like this. I don't know. I do not know. Okay, so 7 of them are colored. So I do have some money here. I have quite a bit. I have 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have $75. Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So 20, 30, and 5 is going to be added here. And I do unstuff the quarterly one. And then everything you see in these is going to be prop money because I don't like to keep it in here. So let's go to the 100 books here. So for the 100 book challenge, each book is $2, so I did read 7 of them. Oops. And that means I will add $14 to this challenge and color in 7 books. So let's do that. All right, so 7 books have been colored. Oh my goodness, almost done. And we're gonna add 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, $14. Okay, so $14 is being added. And in total, let's count everything up. So 120, 25, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 1, 2, $142. Great. All right, and the one that I was doing is the pages read, but I decided to not do that for this quarter just because I don't want to calculate everything. I don't know, it's just too much for me, and I already finished 1 sheet, which is great. Proud of that. But yeah, I'm not going to continue with the pages read, but I do want to start the This or That bookish edition, and I do have let's see how much I have. I have quite a bit. I have 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have $26. Okay, so let's see what we can do. All right, so This or That. This will be $2 and that will be $3. So fiction or nonfiction? Definitely fiction for me. So that's $2. Ebook or audiobook? Ooh, this one's hard. I'm gonna say ebook. I've been really enjoying my Kindle recently, and it's just really nice to kind of lay in bed and be on my Kindle. Sometimes when I listen to an audiobook, like, I lose focus, so ebook is always the best. Hardback or paperback? I love paperbacks. Hardbacks are good, but I have to remove the cover so I don't mess it up. 1, 2, and 3. And then rom-com or thriller? Ooh. I'm gonna say rom-com. I was a thriller book girly. Like, I loved my thriller books, but honestly, sometimes I get anxiety because of, like, I don't know, like my heart just start getting anxiety, and I feel it even when I watch shows or like a movie. I don't know, I just start getting like anxiety. All right, fantasy or sci-fi? I'm definitely gonna say fantasy. I don't think I read a sci-fi book just yet. So it's $2. And then friends to lovers or enemies to lovers? I'm gonna say friends to lovers, only because one of my love stories when I was young was a friends to lovers. Let me have a sip of coffee. All right, bend the page or use a bookmark? Use a bookmark. I was lucky enough to receive a bunch of bookmarks from Busy Things, so shout out to her. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. All right, PM reader or AM reader? I'm gonna say AM reader, morning reader, just because my kids are at school. I have more quiet time, 1, 2, 3. And especially like if work is a little slow, I'm able to kind of read a book. And usually in the evenings, it's really hard for me to read. I will only read when I'm in bed and the kids are already in bed. And then I tend to fall asleep. So I don't really read for that long at night. All right, the next one is read in silence or read with music. I like listening to like background noise, and sometimes I'll put on like a reading music type of playlist. So I guess I would say read with music, just because reading in silence, I kind of get into my head or I start hearing noises. Especially if I'm reading like a thriller book, I'm like, oh my goodness, I heard something. All right, read in bed read in bed or couch, or read at a cafe. I'm gonna say read in bed or couch, just because I love reading at a cafe, but I also get distracted there as well. Me too. Okay, and then the next one is coffee or tea. Of course I'm gonna pick coffee, of course. That's like not even a choice. So the last $2, that was perfect. All right, so we did complete this and we saved 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, $26. Okay, that's awesome. And I'm actually going to get this out and put this in my completed savings challenge for the month of October. And we're gonna reallocate this money because your girl is trying to pay off debt, and any money that can help me with that goal will be greatly appreciated. All right, so we're gonna do that. Awesome, yay, love it. All right, you guys, well, that was it for today's reading savings challenge video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a little bit different with the beginning of the book reviews, but I have received quite a bit of feedback on showing my face more when I do the book reviews. So again, hope you enjoyed it, and if you did like this, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.